Welcome back. So in our Selenium with Java series, we were looking into the extent report, how we can integrate with our Selenium Java framework. And also we have seen if your test case fails, then how the extent report captures the exception as well. Okay. So it is fine actually. After this, it is very much fine. It gives you the logs, it gives you the exception, it gives you the total number of test cases. But if you see, there is one thing that we didn't look at yet, is that how to take the screenshot when the test case gets failed, because that is very important when you run, like, let's say 200 of test cases, and there are certain test cases are failing. You can look into the exception and you can identify or analyze the failure, but it would be always good if you could get the screenshots of the specific test cases that gets failed, so that you can take it directly to your team for fixing or to analyze the failure. Okay, so extent report does provide the option to create the screenshot and attach to this particular HTML report as well. So creating this screenshot is very simple. We have already seen in our previous sessions, so I'm not going to go in detail about how to take this screenshot, but we will be going making sure that after the screenshot has been created, how you can really attach to your particular test cases when the test case gets failed. See, when the test case gets passed also, you can attach the screenshot. There is no issue with that, but the thing is that at the same time you need to trade off with your size of HTML report as well. Like when you take a screenshot, let's say 200 test cases are there, and 2 to 3 steps in each test case you want to take the screenshot, which might occupy lots of space in your HTML report, and it is always difficult to maintain that many, because see, it is first this report, and also you would have executed in a week or in a month so many different times, right, the same sets of test cases. So it is always recommended to take the screenshot when the test cases gets failed, so that would help you to reduce the size of the HTML report. Along with that, it will ease your failure analysis. Okay, now let's see the documentation of extent report. So there is a documentation which is coming from the GitHub. If you see, it's very straightforward. So extent.create test. So this is basically my test object, right, whichever we were seeing in our previous sessions. So this test exposes a method that is called as add screen capture from path. Okay, so basically you need to give the file path, the screenshot path of your screenshot. You just need to pass the parameter. So this is basically at your test case level if you want to do, but let's say that you want to pass certain logs actually. So while passing the log, you want to send the screenshot. Okay, so that time also you can use this, and if you see here, it is basically you are making it pass, or even you can make it as fail or skip, whatever the methods are available. In that you can pass this one, media entity builder create screen capture from path, and you need to give the screenshot path. Let me show you the two differences. Basically it has an example as well. Let me show you this. So if you go to here, like I can show, there is a online, they have attached a sample. So if you see, this particular screenshot is not specific to any status or like any logs. It is basically at the test case level only. And if you click on that, it will give you the screenshot attached to that. But this is basically where individual logs level you can add the screenshot. The same concept only. You can click to open and it is attached. You can take a zip file of all the screenshots and your HTML file, and you can give to any of your team members so that they can open this HTML and get these screenshots. Fine, now let's try to implement this in our framework. Okay, so if you see, our test case gets failed here, right, because the login, the password is incorrect, so that's why your test case gets failed. Now I want to take a screenshot when your test case failed along with your exception. Fine, so for this, what I'm going to do, I have already this set up. If you remember our previous session, we have taken a after method. This is one of the annotation in the base test class, and here we are making sure that if the test case gets failed, that is result.isSuccess is not, then we are sending, we are actually telling first you make the status as fail, and after that it is even attaching the exception as well. So this is the best place that I can add the screenshot as well. But before to that, I need to make sure that the screenshot has been created. Then I will take the path of that screenshot and attach here, right? So for this, what I'm going to do in my base package, I will create a new Java class. Let's say I will say util, and in this util class I will be adding the screenshot capture. So for this I have already a ready-made screenshot capture method, and which is very straightforward, you can understand that. But here I'm not sending the driver object because we have already settled down there. We can use the page driver dot get driver, which will give me the driver instance, so I'm not requiring that. This is string image name. I need to have a unique name for each time a screenshot is captured, right, to make it dynamic. So that's what I'm mentioning here. And here I can take the text screenshot. I will import this one, and then instead of driver, what I will do, I'll make it as page driver dot get driver. This is my framework actually that I have done actually there. Now file, it's Java file, and then output type, import it, and file util, like whatever the screenshot image name that you are taking, you have to pass that here. Or else what you can even do is that so we can even attach this one to a screenshot folder. Like what I can do, I can take like this slash, and then I will be appending that to my image name. So in this case what will happen, it will create a screenshot folder if it is not yet created. Like if you see it is not yet created, so it will create that screenshot folder, and inside that directory it will be saving individual screenshots that we are creating. Fine. So and then what happens, this will let me do one more thing as well. So this will even return me the file path as well. So I'll make sure like this. So I will say string file path, okay, equal to, I'll copy paste this entire thing. And now what I'm going to do, I will return this one also. I'll tell you why exactly I'm doing that. And here instead of void, I'll make it as a string, and there should not be any error. See, the thing is that when I call this util dot, this has to be public so that I can access it outside. So when I say util dot get screenshot and I will provide certain file name path, it will first capture that screenshot into this path and also return me this file path, so that I can pass the same thing inside my extend report method actually, if you see here, because this does require a file path actually here. Let me first copy paste this one and then add that into my base test, and which is after method, right? And please keep it in mind that it's not always mandatory to have into your after method or somewhere. Anywhere you can do. Even if you remember the first class of the extend report, I can even attach inside this also. Like for an instance, I can do like this, extend dot, and I will say get test, and when you say dot, it will be giving you the option actually, and here you can see add screen capture from path, and you can specify the file path as well, file path dot jpg or png, whatever it is there. Okay, so instead of create test, because my test has been already created, so instead of that I will be copy pasting this one, because my test case has been already created. Now the thing is that and you can see the error is gone, add screen capture from path. Now what I need to do here, I need to pass a parameter here, some kind of file path, right? From where I will get, so that is something I will get from here, and I will say util dot get screenshot, and I have to provide a unique name, right, for my screenshot capture. That is the string it is asking, this get screenshot, which we just created. So instead of hard coding it, what I'm going to do, I'll take this one actually. So I'll make the result, if you see here, so this is also unique, right? So every test case name is unique. We shouldn't be providing the same test case name for all the test cases. That's why I'm taking that as my, what you call, like the unique string actually there. Just add the exception, And after this, the same thing, like here also I can do that. Let's say this is my test case level, right? But let's say individual I want to take. Now in this case I want to make it as fail, because this is result not success right here, this condition. It means that my test case has to fail, and here also you can see we have failed that. So here what I'm going to do, instead of this I will be taking this one actually. So I can take two different screenshots. So here util.get screenshot, or else what I can do, one best approach to showcase both of the examples, I'll take string str, or I will say string screenshot path equal to, I'll take the screenshot and capture the path. Both at the same time I'm going to do. So I'll do a control X, I'll put it here. Understand the logic actually here. So instead of taking each time a screenshot while I need the path, I'm taking one screenshot path and I am attaching that. So the screenshot will be overridden there. So I'm taking one time the screenshot, and after that I'm attaching that in both the places. This method takes the test case level, this is at the status level. Let me show you that as well. So here if you see this particular screenshot which I'm sending inside this get screenshot, this has to be .jpg also needs to be sent there, because it doesn't append there. So I'm appending that as .jpg. Okay, fine. So now let's execute this test case. So for this I'm taking the test.ng.xml, and here I'm running these two test cases. And let's see how exactly the screenshot captures. And as you can see, there is actually, as expected, one test case got passed and another test case got failed. Now let's see the test case report and see how it looks like. So for this I will be going to the spark.html, right click, and then open in Chrome or any other browser. And as you can see, the test case got failed. Why the test case got failed? And it is giving you the screenshot that is attached at the test case level. And after that, if you see here, this is the log level messages. After that, it gave you the attached exception. Along with that, you can see like a thumbnail view it is coming, and you can look into that. And this is not just limited to one or two test cases, how many test cases it is executing. And if your test case failed, then it will be keep attaching the screenshot based on the name. Now if you see that there will be one screenshot folder would have created, and you can see the file name verify valid login, so which the test case got failed, and that's how these things are coming here. So that is the way you can attach the screenshot when your test case gets failed, or even you can use the same line of code in any place that you want to attach the screenshot. Okay, now everything is fine, right? As we were expecting, we could able to attach this screenshot. There is a catch actually, so let me show you that. Now if I go to this folder, this file path, so if I do the copy path, and now if you see this spark.html, let me do one thing. Let me copy paste this one to my desktop and let me open it and see what happens. So I'll copy to my desktop, and then let me open this in my Chrome browser. So if you see, the logs are coming correctly, no problem with that, but then the images were broken actually. So the thing is that the reference to these images are no longer exist on my desktop actually. That is still on my project folder only, because I'm taking the file path as my attachment, right? So that's where actually this is the problem. So if you want to just simply copy paste the HTML report and send it to someone, you might not get the screenshots attached there. So that is very much expected. That's why I said you have to attach the specific what do you call the screenshot along with your the particular HTML report, then only it can pick it up. So let's say that if you have a specific folder XYZ, under that you need to copy this spark.html and also the screenshot folder. That's how it will take the screenshot slash all the screenshots which we have created. So that is one thing. So you can zip it and send to anyone so that they can unzip and view all these attached images. Else there is another option as well you can do, that actually the extent report provides, where you can attach the base64 string of your particular image. So now let's see how we can utilize the base64 image. Now what is base64 image or string? So it's basically we need to convert the image into a base64 format string, actually this one. So that string we need to attach inside one of the extent report method actually that they are giving out of the box. Okay, fine. Now the first thing is that anyway we have the screenshot path, right? Like if you see this one, the screenshot path is already the string is there. This is basically the image path, not the string, right? Now what we need to do, this particular image we need to convert into the base64 string. For this actually there are two ways that we can utilize. One is actually we can follow a couple of lines of Java code to convert that, or else we can utilize a library as well to do that. So let me first start with the Java code. So for this what I'm going to do here, I'll go to the new line of code and let me try to add that. So I'll take file f equal to new file, and under that I will put this screenshot path. Okay, and after this I will be taking the file input stream actually. So file input stream, and this file, let me import this as well. Okay, so this is FIS equal to, and here I will say new file input stream. Here actually I need to pass that file path, and after this I need to use the byte array, and let's give some name to this byte array equal to new byte. So this is basically the syntax actually, so you don't need to worry about that. And here I need to specify the size of that array, so where I will take this int as my, because I need to convert that particular string length into my size actually, and that size is nothing but f length. Okay, so f of length. Fine. So I've created one byte array. Now what I'm going to do, this FIS is there, right? So this FIS dot, I will make it as a reader, and you can see there is a read, and inside this I will be sending this bytes array. That's it. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'll take another string and I will say here, let's say that base 64 img, that is my string actually there. Now here I will take new string, and inside this I will be converting that byte array here. Okay, so 64 dot encode, and for this let me first import this one, then I will get the encode method actually here. Okay, so encode base64, and after that I will be sending that bytes array here, bytes, and here I need to pass another parameter, that is standard char sets, and you can see UTF-8. That's it. So you just need to use this particular syntax. Now what happens, this particular base64 image I will be passing into one of the extent report methods. Now for this what I'm going to do, I will be commenting this entire line of code, and I will be writing a new line. So the same method name only I need to use it here. In this, now what I need to do, I will say pass, or let's say that I will say fail, and inside this I will be saying that media entity builder, okay, dot, if you put a dot, you can see there is some option called as this one actually, create screen capture from base64 string. Now this method accepts a string actually. Now what is this string? So this string is nothing but this one, base64 image string. So I will be passing that here, and then after that I will be saying comma build, or dot build actually here, dot build. That's it. Okay, now here I'm just sending this as the log label, attaching that screen capture, but even you can directly do a dot and you can use this particular method also. Okay, so I'm saving it. There is no other setup is required in your test case level or framework level. You just need to execute the test.ng.xml and make sure that it attaches as a base64 string. So let me run this. And as expected, one test case got passed and another test case got failed. Now let me go back to this spark.html and right click and open it. And as you can see, it is not giving like a what you call thumbnail, but it gives you like a base64 image only attaching to your failed log. Now if you click on this, and you can get this screenshot actually. For a valid login also it got failed. That's how you can identify what error it is displaying here. Now what happens, the same spark.html you can copy paste and give it to anybody, because this doesn't attach the actual image but rather than the base64 string conversion, and then that's how it is attaching here. Now you can attach as many as base64 images and you can send this Spark report into your email, you can attach it and you can save it into your server as well so that everyone can access it. There is one downside of this, is that it might increase the size of your HTML report, because it is literally taking the image, the entire image into a string, and that's how it captures a lot of size actually. Let me show you that as a proof. So if you see, I have already captured this as my desktop, right? In the desktop, this is 10 KB of size. Which one is that? So this is basically the 10 KB of size, where I was attaching that particular. So let me open that. So this particular image is 10 KB, because it is not really what you call holding that particular image. It is just taking a link of that image and showing it here. So that's why that HTML or the images are not part of this HTML when you are just attaching as it is. But when you are going to this like a base64 image, it's basically, it is taking a copy of that image as a base64 string and it is becoming part of your HTML. Now if I go to the location, my project location, and see the size, it might have increased a lot. So if I go here and if you see the spark.html, you see that the size become 102 KB, so which is like 10 times more than your normal size. Now think about, if you have 50 test cases, then how much space it will take for each image. So depending on the what you call requirement, you need to attach or you need to convert that as a base64. Though there is another option, I mean the size will not be reduced to anywhere, but there is one thing, is that instead of writing all these lines of code to convert that into a base64, you can use, there is a library which is called commons.io. so let me show you that. So let me first download the Maven dependency. So you just simply say commons.io Maven dependency. And then you just refresh your load your Maven dependencies. Once it is loaded, we can utilize that. For now, let me comment this much here. Now I will be utilizing the commons.io to write our code actually here. So for this, what I'm going to do, so I will take a byte array as we have taken that time. So byte array, and I will just say file equal to, I'll take file utils. Okay, and you can see it is coming from the commons.io, and I will say read file to array. Now I need to provide the path actually, new file of that screen capture actually, which we have created actually here. So if I go here, probably I need to just comment this much. This is not part of my string conversion, right? This is where it is capturing the screenshot only. So I'll say screenshot path. Okay, and then I will be converting now into the exact string which I have to take. So I'll take the same variable name only, and here equal to, I'll take base64 dot encode base64 string, and I will take the file actually which I just created, or the file array, this one, the byte array. Okay, and this is to be new file, and this is to come from java.io. That's it. So just 2 lines of code actually here. Instead of writing your own, you can write it here like this. Fine. Now if I run this, this will exactly work as it is only. So let me just do all these things separated. So I'll do a control X, I'll put it here, which is like normal taking screenshot. This is like using Java, and then this is using Java library actually. And if I run my testng.xml file, it should result me the same way only. Okay, so there is no kind of difference in between the test cases passed because I didn't change anything. But let me show you this spark.html. And as you can see, this become pass. I'm not attaching any screenshot, but in case of fail, you can see the screenshot attached, and if I click on that, it gives you the screenshot that gets attached, and you can attach as many as times into a single test case, and also this is applicable for multiple test cases as well. The size will not really affect anything. It would remain as the size as we have seen in normal base64 conversion as well. So you have to make sure to attach the file as it is, the screenshot as it is, or you want to convert the base64. So if you are converting that, your size would be increased, so you need to do the trade-off as you need. Fine. So that's pretty much it about taking the screenshot and attaching into the Selenium framework when there is a test case failure is happening. Okay, so and in our upcoming sessions we will be seeing how we can convert this base64. If you see this base64, the base test looks like a bit lengthy, right? Even we can modularize this based on different things. We can create a layer of different class. We can copy paste those concepts there and keep it isolated from here. Also we can use the testng listener as I told in our previous session. So we will see how we can implement the base test with the testng annotation along with the testng listener to make it more flexible and to make it more readability. Okay, so stay tuned and do subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.